Hello, how you doing?
Hello, is this Dazzle?
Yeah, it's Dazzle.
Yes, how you doing? I want to know if I can book a reading or if you're available for a reading.
Yes, always. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I think my baby father's sleeping with the girl next door.
What?
And yes, because she always looking at me funny. She never really speak. But every time I'm with him, it's like she speak and be giggly, like doing this like a side eye thing. I think it's like a woman's intuition thing. He say I'm tripping, but I know I'm not. He don't do nothing for me, nothing for my kids. And the other day, I found like a Gucci receipt in his armrest, and just coincidentally, she had like some
Alright, we're
Gucci
gonna
shoes.
figure. Oh, hello. Hello, everybody. It's your girl DAZZLE.tarot, and I'm back for another tarot reading. So please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload, when I go live. And if you would like to book a private reading, all you have to do is just go into the description box. Everything's down there, and it's also floating across the screen as well. So let's get into this. Hello. Okay. Hold on, y'all. My fur baby is making a mess under me, y'all. As soon as I'm about to start something, I can't. Give me 1 second. Lex, what are you doing? And what do you have? Oh my goodness. So check this out, y'all. Before we get into this, I gotta tell y'all, my fur baby, finds a way to chew on stuff, right? So basically, one of my daughters has a pink moped. He found a piece of the pink moped that my husband is fixing and decides that he wants to chew on it. Like, wow, why? Where did you get it? Like, why? Anyway, look, so Angie Stone, rest in peace to a beautiful, wonderful legend that's going to always be revered as one of the leaders of soul music, okay? Or neo soul, okay? So, if not the godmother of neo soul, you feel me? Okay, so her autopsy report has come back, right? And when it came back, I went ahead and I looked on another content creator's channel, Stone Paxton. He released the autopsy report. I went ahead and looked and stuff, and I heard, and I was like, okay. Then I thought about the reading I did on the live, and I said, okay, that makes sense. Because I felt like she didn't die on impact or whatever. And I felt like they braced themselves away in a way, like, yeah. So that makes sense then. So I'm going to be listening to the autopsy report with you. And then afterwards, I'm going to be doing a tarot reading / oracle reading. I think it's going to be more oracle because I want to use my new oracle cards. But yeah, that's what we're going to do, right? And what I really want to know is, how does she feel about the Angie Stone sector and people who believe that foul play was involved and the industry killed her? And also, I want to know how her family members really feel about the Angie Stone sector as well. And how does she feel about her autopsy report being released? So, without further ado, we're going to listen to Stone Paxton. Please subscribe to his channel. Good content creator. We're going to listen to him go over the autopsy report. Okay, you guys? All right. Let's do it.
Because you think they would have Angela Laverne Brown Stone, right? You think they would have that. County of death, Montgomery, age 63, race black, at least they didn't grow. I hate when I see grow, when they have it on the application, say race. I don't know why I've always been bothered by when they do that, right? Female, length 63 inches, weight 160 pounds, healthy, beautiful woman. Final diagnosis is what it says on the autopsy. Final diagnosis. Okay, here we are. You guys ready for number one? Here it is. And there's just a lot of things I feel like that are missing in this report. But of course, this is not the police report. Remember, this is the autopsy report.
Okay, and just to add, he's one of those people who believes that it was foul play in Angie Stone's death, and he believes that the industry killed her, and he does not trust the authorities, and he is more so leaning on conspiracy.
Blunt force injuries. So we're going to break that down. Blunt force injuries. A, head and neck. Conjunctival, it says pachia of both eyes, pachia of oral mucosis, I'm sorry. So conjunctional pachia of both eyes and pachia of oral mucosis. Now,
okay, so me used to be in the EMT, I used to be an EMT, okay, y'all? And also, I was in nursing school. I only had my clinicals to do, and I was almost finished my clinicals, and I was supposed to take the NCLEX, right? But I didn't go any further. But I wish it was someone else talking about the autopsy report, because he is pretty much doing like a botched job of the terms and the words, the terminology, the medical terminology of it all, because he doesn't know. So I wish he probably would have had like a professional or someone who is aligned, with autopsy reports and stuff to really explain it, and to basically like not dumb it down, but make it digestible and understandable for the audience, because people probably got a little lost. But what he's really saying is blunt force trauma to the head and neck and stuff like that. I'm gonna just keep going, but basically when you have that type of trauma, and also with the eyes and with the mouth, it's like choking. So he got that right, but it's because she was pinned. Okay, so she didn't die right away. So she was basically like pinned, suffocated, crushed in a way, right? Which makes me think that she got ejected out, maybe she got ejected out the sprinter, or however it may be. Maybe they were, I don't know, but it sounded like that, because obviously the sprinter was on top of her. But yeah, let me finish.
Of both eyes and pachia of oral mucosis. Now, it sounds like to me that's like whenever there's some sort of strain going on, like, and there's not enough getting to, like, instead of the oral mucus, that's the mouth, which is the tongue, and then of course the eyes. So like something that's you being strained or something, right? And it's causing like a strain, and you get these like blots and patches on your tongue or your eyes from being strained. Like when a person,
I sound just like him explaining it. But yeah, I wish he would have had like a specialist or someone who's aligned in the medical field, who's an EMT, who's basically experienced those type of accidents, before, and had to go to the scene of those accidents before, and can tell you what it looks like, right?
If I'm gonna choose a pillow,
okay, why is the commercials on?
I can't believe how amazing the memory foam. Cervical.
Or your eyes from being strained. Like when a person gets, I'm not saying that's what happened, because we're going to go through reading it, but if a person gets, you see that in their eyes, right? They get these blots in their eyes. That's from the vessels and the veins and stuff being strained, right? B, torso. Minor abrasions. Number 2, fractures of lateral left ribs, 4, 5, and 10. Okay, number 3 says fractures of the interior 2nd through 6th left ribs. Okay. Number 4 said.
Okay, so basically, most of the weight was on her left side then, because if the left ribs got fractured, the trauma was really on her left side.
Laceration of spleen with associated hemoperitoneum. Number 5 says lacerations of right ventricle of heart with associated same thing,
pericardium.
Hemopericardium. I'm sorry. So I'll read that again.
If I'm gonna choose a pillow.
That is pretty much, she wasn't coming back from that, y'all. I don't even need to listen to any more than that. She was not coming back from that.
Oh, it's definitely be this.
Okay.
I can't believe how amazing the memory foam. Cervical.
Number 5 says lacerations of right ventricle heart with associated pericardium. Okay, pericardium. There it is. I'm sorry. This is all medical words, so you got to really dig deep and make sure you say them right. C, category C, extremities. Number 1, abrasions of a right shoulder region. That's right here, you guys. Number 2, abrasions of both knees. Y'all starting to paint the picture now?
She got thrown out. She got ejected. She had that gotten ejected or flipped or something. So, you know what I really want to ask? I don't even want to listen to him anymore. I want to ask this. Because I know she didn't die on impact. That was the sad part, right? If you were in a car accident, I'd rather you die on impact than have to suffer. All right? So let me see something. Let me ask this. Angie Stone death. The cause of death. Traffic collision. Okay, so basically Google is saying she and her band members were traveling in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter to Atlanta following a Mardi Gras concert in Mobile, Alabama, when it overturned on Interstate 65. The vehicle was then hit by a Freightliner Cascadia semi-trailer truck. Stone was the only fatality. Okay, so let's think about how a car can flip. Remember when I did my last reading? Because I don't need to hear any more from Stone Paxton, right? Because it's obvious to me that she was going to die. Okay, based on those injuries alone, she was not going to make it. And plus, she was not an all-healthy woman, right? She was already sick as well, right? So I already knew, based on what he said, period, the first couple of minutes, she wasn't going to make it. When you start hearing about those type of injuries, there's a good chance you're not going to make it. Blunt force trauma to the head, that could be a fatality. And to the neck, that can be a fatality. All this being fractured, that can be a fatality too. Then on the right side, you got lacerations and stuff on the heart. You got lacerations on your spleen. And if the flipping wasn't bad, the fact that you were flipped and then hit by a freight trailer truck, you know, them big trucks, you wasn't going to make it. Okay? That you was not going to make. When I said in my last reading, it felt like protection. It felt like they braced for the impact too. Maybe they got out, but I feel like it's more like protection. So whatever the angle that truck hit, that Sprinter van, she suffered the most. That's how I feel. That's how it's coming across to me. Right? And it's sad, but the honest to God truth is this can happen to anybody. Okay? So I'm not that clouded by conspiracy. I don't believe the industry did any physical thing to make her unalived. I feel like they messed with her money, they messed with her career. I feel like they did that. But that right there, they did not do. In fact, I feel like the person was, however, I don't know if they turned at an angle, because when your car flipped, that means that you must have been making some type of sharp turn or something like that, because it don't just flip like that. And how fast was you going as well, right? So you probably tried to make a turn, dip and dodge, and do all that, like things like that. So yeah, I had to make sure. So it's a Cascadia semi-trailer truck. Yeah, a Freightliner. Yeah. So the car flipped first, then they got hit. That means, like I said in my reading, the driver was the cause of the car flipping. And the Freightliner, if you're on the interstate and stuff, everybody's moving and going fast or whatever, right? If it's not a lot of traffic, right? So that means a Freightliner needs X amount of time to stop. It needs X amount of distance to make a complete stop. They wasn't going to be able to stop. They probably was trying to stop, and they couldn't stop. So that's what probably happened, if we're just going to be honest. But I want to know, what do I want to use? Do I want to use this one? I think I want to use, let's see. I want to use Oracle, and I'm going to use Modern Life. Okay, so I want to see if I can feel her through this, right? Modern Life. I don't think I'm going to be able to feel her through this. Not for this reading. Y'all look. I think I'm going to use archetypes. Okay? I'm going to use archetypes. Because I would use Modern Life for the people that made it. Okay? Let's do archetypes. So, this is going to be the first time I do archetypes on this channel. Because I was doing it privately with my cousins, and I was like, yep, I'm going to do it more. But I'm going to read with it more. But it's called the Wild Unknown Archetypes. Okay? So let's see. And it comes with a guidebook. It was pretty expensive on Amazon. And I thought I was going to treat myself with my little income taxes and buy it, right? So let's open this up. They come circular like this, right? And boom, it's a complete circle. And I think that's fitting for Angie Stone because this looks like a diamond to me. And it matches her picture that I have posted. And also, her life has come into a complete circle. Her life has ended, right? So this is for fitting. So let's ask this. How does Angie Stone feel about her autopsy report being released? Okay. How does she feel about this to the public, right? Because it could have been kept private, okay? It really could have. And to be honest, if the family was not being gracious enough for, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically the family, I think, allowed for it to be released. It didn't have to be released. So anybody who's demonizing the family, just know at least they care about her fans enough to make sure it was released. Because even though she's a celebrity, that's still private. Okay? So, and they do have privacy rights. Okay? So, let's see. How does Angie Stone feel about her autopsy report being released? 1, 2, 3. The medallion. Okay, you have the medallion. You have the seed. Hold on. It was more than that. Okay, it's 4. Oh shit! Come on, let's play. Let's do this. In the back of this was the bridge, right? Okay, Angie, and we talking. So let's see. We have the medallion. Okay. We have the kiss. Okay. We have the stone. And y'all gonna swear to God, it's conspiracy. And then you have the seed. Okay. So But Angie was talking in codes and conspiracies. Okay, so I mean, it makes sense that her fans will go into the conspiracy, right? So we have the medallion, right? We have the evidence. Angie Stone wants you to know that this is the proof of what happened to her. The medallion, the stone, right? The medallion is still a stone. So this is the evidence. This is your tangible proof of what happened to her. When I think about a medallion, I think about a coin. You know what I'm saying? Something tangible, something earthly that you can gain, right? You can touch it, you can see it, you can fit, you can smell it, taste it, whatever, right? It's what you can see and feel, right? You can see and touch the autopsy report. This is what's going on. This is what happened to her. They did a good autopsy. They did not, and mind you, this is a complete autopsy. So you guys don't have to think that they missed something. It was a thorough autopsy. In fact, Stone Paxton said that it took a long time to come back. But they made sure they were thorough with her, and they made sure they went from top to bottom with her body. Honestly speaking, I'm going to tell y'all, you know they got to cut you up, cut you open, and everything. They did all the necessary things. They weighed her heart, did every single thing. Okay? So you don't have to worry about them missing anything. That's what she wants you to know. They did a complete quality autopsy. Okay? They did good by her body to figure out things. The kiss. Okay? You have two people holding hands, right? And it's like, you just see the hands though, right? And it's like nighttime in a way. It's like a hole. But then it's like a moon, right? So it's almost, to me, it's the goodbye, okay? It's the goodbye. This reminds me of when, you're in the hospital with your loved one, and a lot of times people will take a picture of just the hand of their person's loved one who is critically ill, and they may not make it. And that was her kiss goodbye, okay? And is going into the darkness, into the abyss, into the void, into the unknown, okay? But if you're really intuitive, you can tap in and still feel her, right? You got to use your God-given, abilities. You can tap in. You can still feel her on the other side, because this looks like it's done. That's what she's saying. It's done. And if you want to know, it's there. And you can always feel me and tap in. But this is the kiss goodbye for her. Y'all got the information. Then you have the stone. Right? Now here's where she gets whatever way. Because what's funny? She was religious. Deeply religious. She done went to the other side and found out something else, right? So this is Angie Stone. And now when she speaks, she wants y'all to keep going with the conspiracy. She wants y'all to. Because actually speaking, within the conspiracy comes the legend, right? She was already legendary, but it helps keep the legend going, right? And what's funny? It's immortality, okay? It's 30 years from now. This is what's going to happen. 50 years from now. Somebody's going to say Angie Stone was legendary and they did not give her her flowers and they betrayed her. The industry did wrong by her. And they killed her. But they didn't kill her spirit and her music. She's a legend. Inducted into the Legendary Hall of Fame forever. Right? So she likes it. Crazy. Now I don't even have to ask how she feels about the overall consensus of the conspiracy itself, right? But I'm gonna ask about the certain people in her sector, because YouTube has a sector for Angie, right? But the overall thing is that, yeah, keep it going, keep the conspiracy going, because overall it immortalizes me. I'm already, I'm getting more flowers, right? And it helps my story and my music live on as well. And not only that, hopefully, because like I feel, even though I don't believe that it was a setup that she passed away, I feel like it was her time and it was a tragic accident on the road, coming from what she loved to do, sing, right? And the reason why she was on the road was because the music industry fucked her over financially. That's why. But I think that it helps bring awareness to the financial laws, and hopefully her family will be able to benefit financially, and hopefully her family can be able to get all the money that's been stolen from her. So yes. And you know what's funny? This picture, I swear to you, this picture is eerie. I don't know why I even chose this picture, but I know why. Now, weird. I don't know why it's weird. I know why it's weird, because it feels like she's actually really looking at me, reading her. Like, that's the first time I ever felt that way. Now I'm like getting like shaky. Like, she's really looking at me, girl. She is really, like, I felt that way. The seed. The autopsy report coming out. I told you she likes the conspiracy. Okay. It helps with the overall consensus, and it helps with the overall cause, right? So the seed is right here. But if you ever cut a tree, you see like the layers, and you can see how old it is, right? This is going to help grow this whole thing, right? The overall thing is to get back her money that was stolen, right? And everything else like that. It's her legacy, right? And you don't just, when you're Angie age, it wasn't just about her. It was about her children, her family. She wanted to make sure her family was good, okay? So this is going to actually be the seed, and it can build. You can build more on it. Okay, so she wants you guys to build the conspiracy, right? Because it's really about getting what she needs. However, then I reach back to it because, like I said, it's like a tree, and you can see the age, and you can see how big it was at a certain age, and you can probably see what it's been through when you cut it, right? So if you go from the outer part and you go into the inner linings of it, she also wants you guys to actually see her core, right? To actually see who she was at the core. This happened, right? And if it would not have happened, she still would have been singing and doing what she loved. But there's different layers to her as well, right? But this was closure. This was the final act. If you guys don't know what happened, now you know. That's how she feels in the reality of things, but in the conspiracy of things, she wants you to build on it. And while you're building on it, make sure it's getting traction to gain awareness to get the royalties and the money that was taken from her. And while you're there, within the community, the Angie Stone community, she wants people to actually, if they really knew her, to actually talk about the different layers of her, to keep her legacy going. She wasn't just one dimensional or something like that. Talk about the different layers. Talk about the times y'all had, the fun times y'all had, the stuff on the road, the things like that. But this was an olive branch. This was a way for closure. Okay? So in reality, this was a way for closure. Okay? Because it's two hands right here, right? So, but there's like these strings like that look like a bridge. She's giving you that olive branch. She's starting this bridge so you can get over it, right? So you can have closure and make peace with what's been going on. Okay? But while you're doing it, that's the reality, right? The reality. But for the narrative, she doesn't mind the narrative. But in the reality in your heart, just know this is what happened. That makes sense, y'all? That makes sense. Okay. So then I have to ask this. How does she feel about these individual people? Okay? And then I can use a modern life, right? These individual people that is report. Well, I did tell y'all that, yeah, out of anything, matter of fact, I don't need to ask that. Because she wants y'all to continue, right? That's what she wants. So then I'm going to ask this. How does her family members feel about the people reporting on Angie Stone in the Angie Stone sector? 1, 2, 3. Sophie feel. Overwhelmed mom. And drama queen. Okay, they don't like it. They don't like it. They feel like you guys are on it too much. They feel like that you guys are like basically doing the most and like creating more drama than needed. And basically, some of you guys are probably even harassing them. That's how they feel. Okay. And if I harken back to what Angie Stone feels, she wants you guys to show the different layers of her, right? You don't have to put drama in it, right? So maybe you guys can do it for the people in the sector. Maybe you guys can do it in a way that does not place blame directly on her children or the people in the van, things like that. Or, do the extra drama with them. Y'all don't have to do that. But do things that spreads the conspiracy of the industry. That's what she wants y'all to do. She's petty. But I'll be petty too if you stole my money. So, yeah. I'm not gonna lie about that. And that picture gave me chills for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah. But that's what I got for you guys because I have a live to do. But rest in peace, Angie Stone. You were absolutely loved. You're still loved, and you were and still are a legend. You were a walking legend, but now you are an ascended legend. So yes, you are on the Mount Rushmore, Mount Olympus of neo soul singers, and you were one of the first female free will rap group members. I know that's right, girl. But yes, you made your mark. Love you, Angie, and I hope this brings some type of peace and clarity to what was going on. And I am gone. Have a good one, y'all.